No one is born with self-confidence. Every single one of us, our self-confidence was determined by how we were raised, the parents we had, the teachers we had, the bosses we've had, the jobs we've had. My sister worked for a company for 17 years, and her boss destroyed her self-confidence. She came out of that job, and she didn't realize until she got into her new job how afraid she was to make decisions because of her boss. It took a while for her to get her confidence back. And so if somebody's insecure, we have to over and over and over again prove to them, because we don't know where they came from. We don't know what kind of trouble they got in before, for being honest, right? Or how they were raised. We don't know. And so we have to have total empathy and just prove to them that if they make a mistake, they're going to get helped, not hurt. They're going to get supported, not yelled at. The first time, they won't believe you. They think it's a game. It's a trick. The second time, maybe. And we just have to keep at it.
I discovered that every single organization on the planet, even our own careers, always function on the same 3 levels. Why we do what we do, how we do it, and what we do. And it's based on the biology of human decision making. Every single one of us knows what we do. We know that. Some can clearly articulate how they do things, the things that we think make us different or special or stand out from the crowd. But very few people or organizations can clearly articulate why they do what they do. And by why, I don't mean to make money. That's a result. By why, I mean, what is your purpose? What is your cause? What is your belief? Why did you get out of bed this morning? Why does your company exist? And what I learned is all the great leaders, those with the capacity to inspire us, everything from Steve Jobs to Nelson Mandela, regardless of what they do, every single one of them starts with why. They always lead with their purpose. And like I said, it's based on the biology of human decision making. I consider myself a student in all these things. Like, I don't even consider myself an expert in leadership or any of the stuff that I even write about. I could consider myself a student. And though my learning may be more advanced than some people, I show up every single day to see what I can learn. The best leaders that I've ever met don't consider themselves experts. They all believe there's room to grow. And no matter how senior or how advanced, they have this sort of childlike curiosity. They don't always agree with everything, but they want to hear people's ideas, and they tend to ask a lot of questions.
Society and folks like me put an unfair pressure on people to have a vision, right? And I think that's true. We're not all Steve Jobs, and we don't all have big world-changing visions, to your point. I do believe, however, you can find a vision. In other words, it doesn't have to be yours. It can be someone else's. We found Martin Luther King. We found Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, the visionaries. So organize your business around that, right? You don't have to have a vision, but I do believe you have to find one. People find it in religion. You follow whatever you follow. So you can say, I believe, and you can say theirs is yours. I believe in that. And we're organizing our company around helping to build that world. So I don't believe you have to have one. I do believe you have to find one. And it doesn't have to always operate at a macro level. It absolutely can operate at a micro level. It can be the way you raise your family, the way you treat your friends.
I remember going into meetings and the client would say, we want you to do all of this for us. And I'd say, I'm really good at that, pretty good at that, okay at that, really bad at that. I highly recommend you hire somebody else to do that. And I'm happily partner with them for them to do that. And the clients wanted to work with me more, even though I just told them I can't do that, only because I was the only one who was honest. Everybody else they talked to, big or small, told them that they were great at everything, which is just not true. Nobody's great at everything. When you take the risk to be honest, it pays dividends in the trust that you build.
My latest obsession is this concept of finite and infinite games. A finite game is defined as known players, fixed rules, and an agreed upon objective. Football. There's always a beginning, middle, and an end. And if there's a winner, that means there have to be losers. Then there are infinite games. Infinite games are defined as known and unknown players, which means new players can join at any time. And sometimes you don't even know who all the other players are. The rules are changeable, which means every player can play however they want. And the objective is to perpetuate the game, to stay in the game as long as possible. We are players in infinite games every day of our lives, whether we know it or not.
People would come up to me and say, how are you going to do another TED Talk as successful as the first one? And the answer was, I'm not. That was an accident. I won the lottery. And I can't plan to win the lottery again. That's not how it works. And the success of Start With Why, again, I can't plan that. You can't plan for something that was an accident. So I had actually completely divorced myself of any notion that I had to produce something that was better or more successful than the first work. And so when I set out to write Leaders Eat Last, the only goal was to share every lesson that I'd been learning on the topic of trust and cooperation and do the best job I can of communicating those ideas with literally no concern or thought whether it would be more successful than the first one. I didn't mind. I didn't care. And I feel that way about all my work.